Hello, everyone. It's me, Teacher Maita. Now, let me explain some things about art in therapy. So, when we do art in therapy or art as therapy, we first have to define our goals. Always. So we do goal, obstacle solution exercises, and any activity that we do, we always have a goal, at least a goal for the session, because goals are your direction. It gives you a place or, yeah, a starting place, a point. And from there, then you go which direction you want to go to, because that is the point of a goal. Without it, you don't know where you're going or you don't know what you want to achieve. Now, the obstacle part. So for goal obstacle solution activities, you also have to understand that there are some obstacles in your path. And these obstacles are what's blocking you from reaching your goal. Usually, your goal is something that would make you happy. So is it achieving something, getting a job in somewhere you really love, achieving a good living wage, befriending somebody, that could be a goal, finally earning something, money to buy something that you really, really love. So our goals usually have a way to make us happy. It's usually something good for us. So we set that goal. The obstacle is something that's blocking you from your goal. You want something. What's holding you back? Think about this obstacle. Is it time? You lack time, or is it an age thing? You're not young enough, you're not old enough to get what you really want. Is it merits? Is it a lack of experience? You don't have enough experience to do this. Is that an obstacle? How about lack of funds? So a lack of funds, it can feel like a very big obstacle, but actually it's not. There's a lot of ways around lack of funds. Now, a lack of motivation, that I can tell you should be something bigger than just lack of funds. Because for lack of motivation, you are your own obstacle. Because nobody can motivate you but you. So what's stopping you from doing what you want? What's stopping you from achieving the goal that you set for yourself? That will be your solution. What can you do about it? Because the solution is often there within you. Let's go back to lack of funds. Lack of funds. Years ago, when I was still in art school, I felt like my art just didn't cut it, because no matter how hard I practiced, I could not afford to buy very expensive coloring material. So I'm left with buying, I didn't even buy it. My uncle just gave it to me. Crayola pen, what's this? Pen markers. That's it. I mean, it's from the States. It's nice, but it's not alcohol markers that it does not glide on the page. Therefore, my art teacher kept scolding me and kept telling me, why don't you just buy alcohol markers? My other classmates, they went to the art store, the bookstore. They went to buy those alcohol markers, but it was very expensive. So they only bought a few colors, and sometimes we'd share colors, things like that. I cannot share the colors because I don't have anything to share to them. Therefore, it's just weird if I ask to borrow theirs, right? So it's hard. And I feel like my art is inferior no matter how hard I try, especially with anatomy lessons and sketching lessons and fashion figure sketching and all that. So it's very hard. And then I had an opportunity to go to Japan, and there's that particular brand that I want, which is Copic markers. They were quite expensive. I found out they were $150 for the set of the 24 colors. So I didn't even bother with the 36 colors or more, because I know I can't afford that. 24 colors, that's enough for me. I didn't even mind buying 12 colors, but what do I have to achieve to do this? Skip lunch, save your money, skip lunch, because lunch would cost you about $1 or $2 a day. So skip that lunch for about 2 months. Um, Anybody who needs help in class, I'd be there to help them for a price, of course. Anything that I could do. And then I finally went to Japan, and my mom also sent me a little bit of money. And I said, I'm not going to eat lunch in Japan either. I'm going to save this money because I want to buy these markers. And I did. And when I came home and I started using it, oh my gosh, it glides on the page. So then my art started to improve. So I didn't have the funds, but I worked around it. Skip lunch, save your money, do odd jobs here and there, make some money. There you go. The lack of motivation, that comes from you. Often we say, I'm not motivated enough. I just don't have the drive for it. Why don't you? What's stopping you? You feel tired all the time, or maybe there's this fear inside us because the solution is often within you. You're self sabotaging because you fear something, and that's what you have to overcome. So, when we're doing goal obstacle solution activities, you usually make one for the short term, the midterm, and the long term. So, for short term, it's anywhere between now to a year. For the midterm, 1 to 5 years. And for the long term, it's something far into the future. This time, you're really going to try to predict, I'm going to be this. I'm going to achieve this. I'm going to have this. Now, you're also going to be predicting your own obstacles. What do you think your obstacle is? Let's say your long term goal is, I would like to have my own house, not a rented one, something in my name. I'll build it from scratch. All right, all right. What's keeping you? Money. Okay. By this time, you should be able to get a mortgage, right? So then you will take steps. Your solution is, and have a good job so I can get a good mortgage. Interest rates won't be so bad. I have options where to borrow. So that's for your long term. Now, when you're doing your goal should be specific, measurable, attainable, realistic or relevant, and time bound. We call this SMART. It's specific. It's not just something like, oh, what's your goal? To be rich. What kind of rich? Rich in friends, rich in heart, rich in spirituality. You have to be a little more specific than that. And you have to make sure that it's measurable. Measurable in a sense that you can really say that you've attained it, because there are some things that are questionable. That's not measurable. So if you say, I want to have a house, then you have to be very specific in that house. The house should be in my name. The house should be debt-free. Then it is something attainable. Okay, maybe you can say a 2-bedroom house, enough to support a family. Because sometimes we want to think big. You'll say a mansion in Malate or something. Well, there's not enough space there you can find, and do you think it's attainable? And do you think it's realistic? Next, the reason why it's time bound, you have to set yourself a limit. This is not something ongoing forever. If you say in 10 years I should have a house, that is the time limit. If you could be very specific on the time as well, you could even write your birthday 10 years from now. You will have that house. A 2-bedroom house in your name. Does not have to be so elaborate as long as the deed is titled to you. That could be that specific. So without a goal, you don't have a direction. Your goal must be smart, and your obstacles, remember, your obstacles are just speed bumps. They're not roadblocks. They're just speed bumps. And your solution is always already within you. So don't be your own obstacle. All right. I hope this helped you out. Thank you for joining me in Art as Therapy. My name is Teacher Maita, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye now.